Why do you always come to me when I'm about to start these videos? You're literally chilling by yourself the whole time. Um, Alright, boys and girls, what is up? Who we have in here with us? We have Trey and Robert Rietze. Alright, let me make sure we're good to go.
I'm just dropping in for a little bit. Say hi.
Yes, what's up? What's up? Bum, bum, bum.
Us old men gotta get to bed.
Facts. I only got like probably 30 minutes max before I'm tapping out too. So whenever these questions run out, it's gonna be it, most likely. But
We got questions.
yeah. Alright, just making sure I'm set up. Hopefully these guys can hear you. This weekend, hopefully I get off on Sunday. I'm gonna dedicate that day to learn OBS. And we could actually have like each player with their own video thing and all that good stuff per request. Yeah,
That sounds fancy.
yeah, I know. I finally have to do that stuff because players been asking for it. Let me flip this around. I don't want it to die. All right.
Can't we all click like stream mode and doesn't that work or no?
I don't think it will. Only because I'm doing Twitch from my phone, not my computer.
Gotcha. I have no idea what any of those words mean, but I got you.
Yeah. So yeah. Hopefully, starting next week, we actually have video on people. But all right, we got some viewers in. So what's up, guys? It's your boy Hilaire, joined by fellow teammates Robert Rietze and Trey Faircloth. Today, we're gonna try to keep it a quick, 30 minutes, 35 minutes max, to get all your answers, reviews from this past weekend, and all that good stuff out. So you guys will literally feed into how long this stream will go for tonight. So I advise you to ask any and all questions you guys have, because like I said, you guys know to do this, usually you have to go through your Patreon and all that good stuff. We're doing it for free. Like, we're coming out here and just helping you guys out and hooking you guys up. So let us know what you guys want us to talk about and all that good stuff. But I'll let let's do introductions. I'll let Robert start us off, and then Trey, and then I will pick up on the topics for questions.
What's up, everybody? It's Robbie. Good to see you.
My boy coming fresh off a top 4 with his little launch deck. Loves that deck. Been dominating with it for the longest now.
Kaioken launch, man. That was fun.
Yeah, Kaioken launch. We gotta keep the spice on the down low until tomorrow.
Oh, sorry. I thought things were already out
When
there.
the deck
Okay,
profile
fine.
is out, yeah, that spicy launch deck profile is gonna come out tomorrow, guys. It's gonna be insane.
Gotcha. Yeah. I liked it, but I squeaked in the top 4. I can't say it was much of a. That's the tightest top 4 I've ever been in. So I feel bad for the other 2 because 6 people have the same record and only 4 of us get the ridiculous payout. So
That's crazy. Top 4 gets a bye too, right? For Nats.
yeah, I don't know if that stacks with my old buy because I won the last regional. Of
I don't think it'll
2019.
stack because I know somewhere in the thing it said buys will not stack. So I doubt it'll stack from last year. But that's what's up. Oh, you had one from last year though, so I guess it didn't really matter. Yeah, you already said you just took someone else's. That's funny.
Hey, just in case, Bandai was like, no, that was last year's.
Yeah,
That got canceled. I got another buy, and hopefully I get another one this weekend just to say I took it. But
yeah. That's crazy. That's what's up though, man. Like you guarantee
I'm
your
taking
buy.
all the buys I can.
And then like at the end of the season, you can only use one. I already see it coming. But yeah, that's what's up.
We can only use one. I'm gonna take them all. Like, it's
Yeah,
fine.
I feel you. Yeah, process of elimination. If you're only one with a buy, hey, that's guarantees you to do better. So yeah, I feel you on that one. All right, Trey, say what's up, man. Boy, Trey's been wanting to do this for the longest. I think he's muted, right?
He started to speak. He's starting to. I think he's saying he's got his little one right next to him, so he can't really speak.
Oh, gotcha. All right, that's fine.
Oh, we gotta be a little quieter.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, we'll wait for him. So, what's up, guys? We have I can't pronounce your name. I'm not even trying to pronounce it. But good evening to you too, Card Games TV. We have Gabe. We have Koopzilla. Yeah, appreciate you guys for joining in, man. So let's start it off. First of all, this past weekend we have. I know Robbie was in it, and he was also in our last team talk session. I just wanted to say, I told you guys to watch out about blue because I said in best of one, if I'm a blue player that loves blue, you have to understand that those silver bullets they're gone. Like unless you're going against black, which the only essential black decks that can main deck those silver bullets without losing a beat is going to be Vajeks and primarily Gogeta Zeno. But I doubt. Like I said, I wasn't at the event. Robbie was, so maybe he could tell you if he saw any Vajeks or Gogeta Zeno. But if you don't run into those decks and you're a blue player, you're screaming amen. Because the only other deck besides those black silver bullets that'll get you will be red Broly. Which red Broly should be a more dominating presence. I don't know why it isn't. Because red Broly in best of one will thrive on the decks that come out to play in best of one. So let's let Robbie talk about his experience because he was actually at the event. Like I said, my boy cruised into top 4 with his launch deck, and you guys will see a deck profile tomorrow. So yeah, go ahead, Robbie. How was it, man? Like, did you see any black decks at all, or like?
Yeah, so I had 2 Dark Brawlies, which you'll talk about in the deck. I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about if I can't talk about what's in the letdown, but for tomorrow, what's coming out. But
no, you can talk about it. You can talk about it. Go ahead. You're good.
All right, I played 2 Dark Brawlies. I had a little bit of tech for them, and then I played 2 babies. I played 2
babies.
Yeah,
you
2
played
babies.
2. And you
just like we thought they would be.
Hot. And you have to beat at least one. What'd you lose to?
I lost to, of course, the number 1 deck in the format, Invoker. That was
You beat both babies?
Oh yeah, I beat both babies like it was nothing. I beat both Dark Brawlies with a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Dark Brawlies it should be free, but I wasn't drawing any flippers.
Yeah.
So in one of my matches, I didn't flip until turn 4. So that one was a little harder because playing a whole game with no draw power, you definitely have to outplay your opponent a little bit. And then 2 Majin Vegetas, and I think it was only 7 rounds, so that's it. 2 babies, 2 Dark Brawlies, 2 Majin Vegetas, and an Invoker who got me so easily. I was salty. I was like, this ain't fun. He just burned me out. Like, he did all of his damage from burn, and I was like, I hate this game. I quit.
Oh, man. It's funny you say that. Cause I saw Catastrophic Blows at, like, I think $25 now, dude. But it's funny you say that, Robbie, because I did tell you in the team chats, I'm like, bro, your deck looks... I'm not in the team group messenger, I said, Robbie, your deck is solid. Like, you know I'm a man of 4-Ros, but with your deck, I specifically liked it because you don't need 4-Ros in your deck because you run through your deck. But I did, looking at your deck, I said, Robbie, I don't know how you're to combat Invoker, dude. Like, you need those crowns. And you're like, we just dodged Invoker. I'm like, dude, if you don't dodge Invoker...
We had the crowns, yeah. We had the crowns. We had some other tech that you guys will see. And, like, even with all the tech, it's just, like, people are like, hey, you could run this and that. And they're giving me all this list. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Like,
you're going to lose regardless. And best of one.
You just can't plan for Invoker in best of one, besides like maybe 1 or 2 cards, because 90% of the format, 95%, 99%, what is there, 2 Invoker players and 128? Like at most, and you just have to hope you dodge them before they get their first loss, because Invoker beats itself, unless it's winning the entire event because it's drawn so well. If they don't open an arena in their opening hand, they don't get 2 more tries. They get that second mulligan for 6 cards, and if they miss it again, man, if that deck goes turn 1 tap land and it's on the draw, it's probably going to lose,
Especially in best of one, 100% correct.
Yeah, and that's just it. And so against me, my opponent opened, like, he kept 4 or 5 cards, and he was a good player too. I forgot his name, but he got top 4 at a regional, I know that, and he's done some other celebration stuff. But, like, it was a good guy, and he played fine. Like, that's the other part. Like, you're not going to see a bad Invoker player. Like, some random casual is not going to spend $4,000 and, and be like, oh, here's my $4,000 victory strike. Let me just throw it in a deck, We're past that point. I mean, when it was $800, sure. But now at $2,300, I think is what it's at.
That's rough.
Nobody wants to bring that thing out. But a lot of baby. I heard everybody talking about baby throughout the weekend, and sure enough, I think if they gave us the numbers, you'd see baby at 1/3 of the format,
Yeah, we.
and the other third would be Dark Brawly because it was everywhere. Like, it's Dark Brawly. It's cheap, it's effective, and it's great in best of one.
Yeah.
So.
And it's funny because we did mention those two decks. I specifically mentioned Dark Broly, and I specifically mentioned the problem with Dark Broly is players are going to play that deck not realizing that if you accommodate to the best of one format, you're going to get spanked because your deck is not made to just go in best of one and dominate stuff. It's made to just dominate the best of three and tell your opponent, hey, unless it's a mirror match, there's nothing you're going to do about it. You're just going to sit there and take the work because, like, I think that deck is just insane in best of three. But in best of one, you gotta just be hot in best of one. Like, you winning your Dido, you seeing a card, you have to be on a roll with that. Me personally, as much as I love the deck, I tell people, yes, I would play the deck in an event right now because that's the only deck I have. But if I'm playing best of one, I would be my first choice to play because the deck is not made to just run through best of one. Like, I told him I would have to get lucky each and every single game essentially in order to win my game. Like, it's not made to combat that format.
And like you're not meant to stop. Like one of the best decks I saw actually, and I told people like I wish I could copy off of it. I'm not going to because I hate to play like that. But the best deck that I saw throughout the weekend, and the only reason I could beat them was they seemed like they were a little bit less experienced and like some of the playing the fields in best of one was Majin Vegeta. Like Majin Vegeta is so fast and so consistent that, against Dark Brawly, if you choose to take a life, you're obviously dead. But even if you don't take your life, on turn 2, you're getting to come across with like 7, 8 attacks, and Dark Brawly can't stop that. Especially if they go second with 1 energy, like that deck is just gonna be like, yep, I take it. Yep, I take it. Yep, I take it. So whoever was the one who came up with Majin Vegeta, mad props, man. That's probably going to be the breakout deck out of best of one format. Like, I'd expect all the cards in Majin Vegeta to just slowly start going up.
Yep.
Because we got 7 weeks of best of one that we know of.
Yep.
And the vaccine's only at 20% in America was the last numbers I was told. And that seems really high to be actually at 20%.
Yeah. And it's rough because I feel like with the Majin Vegeta influx, that's how we came to the conclusion last time where, yes, the numbers for Dark Broly would be there. I told you guys this off rip. I'm like, even if the numbers are there for Dark Broly, it's not going to be the same in Top Cut. And lo and behold, Top Cut came, and you only saw, I think it was one Dark Broly in Top 8 or Top 16, whatever it was. But I told you guys, I've been playing that deck for the longest. That deck is really fragile. If I want, like, all the matches that I won, I have not always won my game ones. Usually, if I lose my game one, all right, cool. I see how you beat me. I'm just going to scoop you up games 2 and 3. That's literally how it goes. My game ones are not auto wins. And most of the time, I'm doing my plays because it's hard to just not do what the deck does while watching what my opponent can and can't do. But I'm getting knowledge game 1, like, okay, cool. He has this card. He doesn't have this card. So this is why I have to play around stuff like that. But games 2 and 3 is when I come back in and I just start putting in work. You don't have that luxury.
But it was a diverse top. I think the X and ones were all diverse too, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think there was a repeat.
No, there wasn't. Just Blue Baby was the only one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a Baby, a Piccolo, a Dark Brawly, a Launch, and then the other 2s I think were.
But Jax was one.
But Jax was one of them, and then we had something else that didn't make it. But like, I mean, think about it. That's 6 out of your people that went X1 and better were all different decks, to my knowledge, or there was 1 repeat. Like, that's a healthy format. And more importantly, Invoker didn't make the cut, so that's really good.
That was surprising to me. I'm not gonna lie. That was really because you don't need like.
You have to hit arena. Think about it.
You do in best of one. You really do. Like, there's no.
You gotta win the dice roll. Like I was joking to the legends. Me and him tested yesterday just to try to learn the matchup, and I think we played 5 games. He won the set, so he won 3 out of the 5. And every time that I won, either A, I went first, or B, he didn't get his arena, and then he had a hard. Like one time, I went second. And he missed his arena, so I just was like crushing him. And on his turn 2, he had to actually play a tap land. and then I was able to come over it. So, if that happens and, it's best of one, you can't recover like you normally would with Invoker, which is why I personally would never play Invoker in a best of one format. Like, I'm not that ballsy. And, I don't want to spend $3,000 on a card.
Yeah, that price track is kind of insane. But talk about your Blue Baby matchup, because like I said, I think that is going to be the most represented deck, only for the fact that it will stop all the hyper aggressive decks such as Bajin Vegeta, alongside the fact that that deck is, besides now the Big Bang Revenge attacks, I think, or the big revenge, whatever it is, the counter, the TP, and the gate, that's slowly going. I think it's like $30 right now, 35, whatever it is. That's slowly going back up. But besides that, the deck is common. Talk about that deck. Talk about your experience playing against that.
So that deck evolved a little bit. I won't ruin too much about what they were playing, but they were playing more of the cheaper counterplays that would let them untap than I previously saw, because it is best of one. So all they were trying to do really was on their turn basically free arrival a bunch of guys, and then on my turn attack with them all, no combos, and then switch turns again. In both cases, I beat them with my favorite card, Dark Banisher Fu, because it just shuts up baby. So I always make it a one of. And I think it's Dark Banisher Fu, whichever the 6-drop is, the 6-drop one, whichever Fu that is. But the original 10 cost, but it's a pretty good strategy right now, honestly, because you're stopping everything. Even Invoker, you're stopping a lot of their plays. They can't get to 5 life. If you're not choosing to attack, you can kind of chill out a little bit, and then play like the 7-drop. If you're playing it, like, you have a lot of outs in baby. And I hate to say it because baby matches are so boring.
Yes.
They're just terrible to play as the opponent. But man, it's such a good call. If you want to make top 16,
yeah, you'll get it easily.
Yeah, you're not gonna get it every time. But if you play in 3 of these regionals and you signed up for them, I know Core. I got a call tomorrow. My spot will be opening up because I'm gonna go to Disney World. So. One spot's opening up that weekend, but you can try it a few times with baby, and you're probably gonna hit top 16 if you know what you're doing. Whereas the deck, anything else in the format, I don't know if it's true.
That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, it's what you're saying with the food. And that's the thing too. Like, all this stuff, it's funny because we literally specifically said this in our last team talks, and I told you guys. I said specifically with baby, the thing about best of one, as a player, you now have to play the guessing game of what secret are they playing. Are they trying to Android 17 trying to tide you? Are they trying to hit you with a Dark Banisher food at the 8-drop? Or are they trying to hit you with the 10-drop Banisher? Like, you don't know what's going to happen. And then once it does happen, it's like, well, damn, if your guess was wrong, you're just going to lose the game. But if your guess was correct and you hit it, hey, your guess is correct because it's best of one, so you just avoided the downfall to it. And that's I'm telling you guys, go back. If you were to predict our last team talk, if you went back and listened to it, it's funny because it's literally exactly. And you guys, the ones who were there last time, can attest to it. I said you'll see all this stuff, but then at the end of the day, Dark Broly will be there because you have a bunch of players that are gonna say this is the best deck, and then just come across, I'm telling you, get utterly slaughtered, and damn it, this is best of 3 out of 1. Realistically, yes, but it's not. And then you're gonna have those blue players that says, I'm gonna come in specifically Blue Baby. Now I can almost guarantee as this goes along, you're gonna see more blue decks. More specifically speaking, is Blue Vegeta, which I can 100% see happening because that interaction with the Unison being able to just kill you from 3 to 0. I think people are forgetting how to play around that deck, honestly. And in the fact that it doesn't have to deal with the silver bullets, it's going to be really, really troublesome for players. I'm just... Blue is just... If you're a blue player, this is the format you guys just love to play in my honest opinion, man. There's nothing that can combat you unless someone picks up that Gogeta Zeno deck or of a deck set, dude. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, if you face a Gogeta Zeno, I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna lose that thing 10 out of not 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times you're gonna lose that match. There's nothing you're not gonna have a hand. Every single card you play, it's gonna cost you 2 cards. So you're gonna lose 2 cards, or you're gonna lose 3 cards. You're gonna lose the card you played, plus you're gonna warp one for each of those guys they have on board. If you have multiple, you're losing multiple at a time. But that's just gonna be the way it is. The same thing with them. Go ahead.
The other card that we talked about that everyone was running was Dark Banisher Food, the regular 4-drop.
I already said that.
Like that was everywhere.
Yeah.
Dark Brawly was playing it, and I thought that was weird that Dark Brawly played it. But I was like, okay, sure, like give it a shot. And Dark Brawly played it, Baby played it, Majin Vegeta didn't play it, and obviously Invoker didn't play it. But both the Baby players, I believe, and both the Dark Brawly players had it in their like 60 or 50 cards, whatever they were running. But it was pretty much it. Like I said, it's almost just like our previous team talk. That was it. That was the whole entire meta. But I mean, it also makes sense too is that we're being priced out of it. Like I don't want people to think it's because we're like amazing at predicting this stuff. It's also the fact that like right now I really want to play a green Brawly list, and I'm having a hard time getting the cards for a decent price because like Frieza's something insane right now. It's like $30 a piece for a Frieza.
100% agreed. We're on the same page, but we're talking about two different Dark Brawlers. It's funny you said that, Robbie. I'm not gonna lie to you because I had where's my Dark? I was gonna. You're probably talking about the Set 1 OG Green Broly. I wanted to play the starter deck Green Broly and just go Hand Destruction City and just clap people's cheeks, dude.
I can see that. No, I want to play my Brawly Surge again.
Oh, the Brawly Surge, yeah.
Yeah, I want to play Familiar Bonds Triple Flash. Like fuck it. Like,
you need something like that in best of one because all you need is one attack like that to connect and it's game because you're like, oh snap, what just happened? And by the time they realize what just happened, it's too late because you're on life support. Now you're one attack away from losing a game. Like it's a good strategy to pick. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, the same problem everything else has though. Like if you play against the Baby Vegeta deck, you're like, oop, negate, you're dead.
Exactly.
You have to win the dice roll. On that note though, I do have to bounce. It's my time. Good seeing you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out. You're good. I'm probably gonna have like 10 more minutes anyway. But yeah, all right. Appreciate Robbie for joining in and talking about it. But yeah, guys. So I'm gonna go now through the comments. Like I said, you guys have any questions? Please leave them in the comment section so I could address those questions for you guys because we're gonna try to keep these things to like a good 30 to 45 minutes from now versus like the hour or 2 hours. So I feel like when it goes on forever, we kind of drain you guys' questions, and the fact that we do this 3 times a week makes like today is what, Wednesday? So Friday for like 2 hours tonight. Friday's gonna be like we're up to ask questions because we've been in here for like 2 hours. So we're gonna do our best now to keep it to 30, 45 minutes max. So all right, let's get into it. Pac-Man, what's up, man? Card Games TV, blue for the win. Yeah, I try to like people. I don't know why people think I just come on here and just try to like just blow smoke. I'm not. I literally like helping players out. And I get to ask my team. Like they hate when I do it, but you can either love it about me or you can hate it about it. You guys, anyone on my team, when I'm in the team, I literally tell them straight up how it is. I don't try to sugarcoat it. I don't try to be nice. I say, listen, with all the respect, I think it's complete other trash or BS. I'm like, you're a genius. Like today, I don't know, today was yesterday. I told Rob, I'm like, I'm not easily impressed with deck builds, but you guys are going to see the deck profile he played. I'm not sure it's the same one, but the one that he presented to us in the team, I'm like, bro, this deck is on point. Like, the only issue I had with it had no answers to Invoker whatsoever in the main board, so I think it's going to be an auto loss. But other than that, I was impressed. I'm like, bro, I'm not easily impressed. And everyone's like, oh, damn, wow, he actually didn't say that. I always had something to say. When I saw his deck, it was clean, bro. Like, there was just nothing to say. So, yeah, I'll tell you guys how it is. Like, don't get offended if I say something. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to lead you wrong. I'm not going to tell you, hey, this is good in order for me to pick another deck just to beat you. Like, I'm going to be real with you guys. And it's just how I like my character. So, I played Robbie round 2. Great match. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, bro, that's the deck I'm talking about. Like, his deck build, it's just solid. Like, it has answers to everything. Like, I try to nitpick it, and I couldn't. I was like, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard to say anything bad about this deck. And I told him straight up, the only thing you're missing is an Invoker. He said it. He said, I'll just take the L. And you guys saw, that's the only loss he had was to Invoker. Feels like having a Dragon Ball. Yeah. Time to release my best of 1 Dark Broly. I would not advise it. Hat check for the win. Alright, hat check, right? The thing about hat check, I tell you guys this all the time. Hat check, in my opinion, this is best of 3, would be a solid, not for a webcam, but in real life event, would be a solid counterpick choice. Because the reason you can't really function with hat check in best of 1 is because your weakest color is blue. And best of 3, blue gets phased out, whereas in best of 1, blue gets a little revive, like a resurgence because of those counter silver bullet cards not really being in the play, right? Because the real issue with Hatchak is when those threats hit, it has to remain on board. And blue having access to things such as the Trunks counterplay to just bounce it back completely blows out hat. It's not something you want to deal with at all, man. Burn all the way. Yep. That's I'll see 100% and Joker will win one of these tournaments. 100%. It's bound to happen because it's such an uninteractable win con, and it's just such an uninteractable strategy. Like for you trying to take your opponent from 8-0, it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna be that easy to happen. In Orlando, we have the Inner Life Store Championship event. Yeah, we do. We actually have one, and it's gonna be a 6K at Gamers. It's gonna happen May 8th through 9th. So be sure to check that out. Dang, you guys have no questions at all? That's crazy. I mean, I appreciate the comments, but you guys have zero. This is like I'm telling you, you guys have there's no paywall here. It's literally free Q&A right here, guys. Like, ask away. Don't be ashamed. Don't be like, hey, this question sucks or anything. Let me plug in my computer real quick because it's gonna die. Yeah, don't be like, trust me, if you think it's dumb, ask it anyways, because you'd be surprised how many other people have that same question, but they're embarrassed to ask it, dude. So like I said, there's not one question I won't answer. If it's something that's gonna sound crazy, I'll brace you. I'm not gonna just drop it on you. Like if you're like, hey, I'm winning with Dark Broly, I'm like, listen, I wouldn't put money on myself winning on Dark Broly. I'll brace you guys for it and say it. So yeah, don't be scared to ask any question you guys have. One sec, I'm plugging in my charger.
Tell them free information is.
Oh, who we got? Trey finally hopping back on.
Hey, I've been here the whole time. I've been listening.
You putting those babies to sleep.
Hey, tell them they don't want to see me in the best.
Yeah, Trey has some. I'm telling you, you have to play a shenanigan-ish deck in best of 1 to where your opponent, it's hard to pick up on what. It's not like it's a fluke deck, right? It's a deck that you have to predict what cards are in their deck. For instance, like Blue Baby, like I was trying to tell you, when you have to predict which food they're running, or even if they're running food, maybe they're not running food, maybe their win cons Android 17 turning the tide. It's a deck like that where Trey has, and by the time you realize, like you know what the deck does, but by the time you realize what his deck build is consistent of, you better be in the lead because it's gonna be a hard time to come back. A color and a deck that I've been telling the team if I have access to that I can honestly see win an event would be Lord Slug, because Lord Slug has an uninteractable. You're just gonna draw cards and I'm gonna draw cards, but the only difference is the cards that I make you draw, you're not gonna do anything with it. So that's a deck. If I had time, I would do it. But it's like what Robert was saying earlier. I'm not gonna invest in that deck. So I'm not gonna spend 30 plus on a Frieza. That's just absurd to me. Like green has an ability to do something, but Frieza just skyrocketing like that just turns it off for me. So I don't even look at it. Yeah, Trey, you wanted to say something?
I feel like that deck is just. It's like it's one of those decks that's like if you don't know what it does and you're not prepared for it, that's one thing that's really big for best of 1 is is playing something that your opponent's not prepared to play for.
Yeah.
Play against Slug, you're gonna be like, we're gonna be reading.
Yeah, if you're reading cards against Slug, dude, that game is over. That game is. I'm not talking about the crit Slug. I'm talking about the Slug that says that people think it's bad. That says when you attack, you draw one card and your opponent draws one card. You guys are going to get. Scott Dashy showed me the true power of that deck. Like I said, there was a lot of adjustments I'd make, but that deck has some gas behind it. I'm just gonna tell you this right now. That deck will literally screw you over. Especially all these decks nowadays, they filter to their decks. I'm like, okay, cool. You want to filter to your deck? Let me help you filter some more cards. Like I said, I'm not going to spend money on Dormant and Frieza for a best of 1 format. But if you do have those cards, I highly recommend you play testing that thing. But just realize, yes, you do counter those other decks such as Blue Baby that filters through your deck. But realize, play test these decks before you bring them to an event. Because if you just bring this to an event without proper, efficient playtesting, please don't say Eddie did me wrong. Because I don't want to do that to you guys. Like, literally, I need you guys to actually have a love for green and appreciation, and you playtest that deck. Because the deck in best of 1 it's good. It's really, really good. Best of 3, I wouldn't advise it. Because if it was best of 1 in invitationals, Scott Dashy would have beat me. Because I had no idea what it did. But after game 1, I'm like, alright, cool. This is what it does. And I learned how to play around it. But, like I said, if it was best of 1, I literally would have had an L on my record. Because I had no idea what it did. I was reading cards. I'm like, oh, damn, I can't do anything. So, that's where we're at with that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That would be it. So, that's... Yeah. But, yeah. What else do we have to talk about? Let's see what we got. We have send me that list for Slug then, Eddie. I have the card. I don't have a list for Slug. The reason why I know it's good is because I'm not trying to like sound cocky or anything. I will rarely lose with Dark Broly. And Scott was literally, he wasn't beating me, but the strategy he was using was gonna make me lose. Like, if it was only one game, I had to figure that out just off rip. Like I said, if this was a Bandai event and it was best of 1 versus best of 3, I would have lost. But, like I said, I improvised, adapted, and overcame. And games 2 and 3, I'm like, okay, cool, it's not going to happen again. But it's one of those decks, like, players are just, they never read the card because they pushed it aside. Like, this leader's bad. It makes your opponent draw his cards while you draw cards. And people just don't pay, like, once they saw the leader, they didn't pay attention to those core cards. And those core cards are something that will literally light you up. Because it's like, well, you're giving me cards, I'm going to kill you with it. But I'm like, yeah, I'm giving you cards, but literally, yeah, one attack a turn, and it's going to come through the dormant. Because everything else is going to be hard negated. And it's like, you're not going to do anything unless you just not play your deck and draw cards. And you're just going to, okay, cool. You're never going to win at that time and point. And I have to defend against a slew of 20k. Like, it gets really, really gruesome, in my opinion. So, let's see. Should Majin Vegeta run the Boo SCR or the Kai SCR? I think Majin Vegeta should be running the Broly SCR. That's like my hands down opinion. Like, Maka's like, that Broly SCR and Majin Vegeta is just, it's stupid. You don't need an SCR period. You probably just win without it. But the Broly SCR just gives you a ceiling that's just unmatchable, in my opinion. It's, okay, cool. You go down to 1 life, so you're doing all the damage you possibly can. And if somehow it doesn't happen, somehow, some way, you Belmont on your board, you blow up your 7-drop, and then literally, the Broly comes out, and the Broly swings, and you warp. If somehow they have a negate, you literally take their hand away, and then you swing again for a second time, and you just kill them. Like, that's completely absurd to me. That's the one scenario where I'm like, Cell is not the best SCR in the game. Because in a certain deck, such as Majin Vegeta, when it's consistent like that, because you can just filter through your deck, that freaking thing is dumb. The Cell one is meh, because the Cell one, like I said, negates will still end up doing you in, but that Broly, if you're at 1 life, B, it doesn't matter if you negate or not, because you're still going to give up your hand, and you have to defend 1 more swing, and the chances are you're not going to have a hand. Now you have to defend on a blocker on board, which, if you don't have a blocker, you're just going to get cracked. So, 100%, in my opinion, it should be Broly SCR. I don't play that deck, but when I had played against that deck, that's the only thing that I was really scared of, was the Broly SCR, because I'm like, please, Lord Jesus, do not let him have that Broly SCR in his hand. Because in certain scenarios, if my opponent did have it, I would have lost the match. Any SCR that he had that was not Broly SCR, I would 100% was going to win that match. But that Broly SCR, I couldn't combat it. Like, it's too strong at that time point. They're usually at 1, so I'm like, well, damn. Now if I power, like, no matter what I do, it's going to be next. My hand is gone. That's the biggest thing. So, that was it. We have Cell with Pan. Yeah, that's what you guys saw today with Dylan Warren's deck profile, right? The Cell Seeker with Pan is just insane. Like, bro, especially coming out on turn 2, you can't deal with that, bro. Especially in a best of 1, it's like, I did not expect this. Because it's their turn 2. If you lose a die roll, your turn 1, you're most likely going to say, okay, cool, I'll just tap out whatever it is. Because it's turn 1. I'm not going to die on 1 energy, and they're going to 2 energy. It's just not possible. And then you get hit with a Cell Seeker rare, along with a Pan that restands the Cell Seeker, and like, what just happened? And it's like, you don't even have time to react because it was best of 1. It's stuff like that that'll literally catch you guys off guard. If you guys haven't seen a deck profile here, I'll put it here real quick. There will be an in-depth deck analysis on how to actually pull that combo off, because Dylan was pulling that combo off left and right, and that's for the long. That's not even for that tournament. He's been doing that the last 2 Miami regionals he played in too. It's just completely insane. I'll link it right here so you guys can check it out. That is busted. But it's something creative and niche like this where players don't know the step-by-step plays to it. But by the time you figure it out, it's too late. So, yep. Let's see what else do we guys have. What else do you guys got for us, man? Talk to us. If you want to know what decks I would advise you guys to play for the next one, I honestly think now the decks tuned into, if you guys for some reason still don't want to play Gogeta Zeno, that's understandable. But you guys do want to play black because they do have a bunch of silver bullets. I would highly suggest for Jax. And put silver bullets main deck into it. Because the thing about Jax and your silver bullets is, yes, you have a chance of milling them, but you have to understand now this is best of one. Your God cards in best of one now become your power burst, because the power burst will find any silver bullets you need. 100% it should be at least 4 of the Son Goku True Fighting Spirits. Every single deck, let me take that back. A majority of every single deck runs a counter, not negates, runs a counter. True Fighting Spirits hits all counter plays. You should be running X amount of Dark Power Mass Saiyans and X amount of Vegeta True Fighting Spirits. In my opinion, a correct number would be somewhere between 4 Son Goku True Fighting Spirits, and you could go 3-3 split, or you could go 4-4-4 if you want to. But honestly, I think a 4-3-3 split would be fine with just 10, because your power burst would allow you to pick up whatever you're missing if it gets milled. And that is just something that's completely absurd. So, yeah, that's the thing about holding me back from... I have this deck right now here, too, in front of me. No trolls, guys. You guys think I'm trolling when I promote this. I just don't have the cards. I only have 2 of these. You can't only play 2 of these. I have the deck. Like, the deck is here. And I need the TP... These are just godsend. I need the TP... What's his face? The TP Gogeta cards. Because if your opponent, for some reason, thinks your unison is trash and they don't swing into it, you say, okay, cool, you punish them. You swing for 15, and then you bring out the Gogeta TP. If it's not red, you don't care, because you're not going to get violent raised. You just swing out for a game. If it's against black, you're good. If it's against blue, you're going against blue baby. Just give them the cards for Gohan. It doesn't matter. Give them the cards for whatever. The only thing you can't really combat is the Vegeta Ready to Rumble if they're still playing it. But if you're playing, like, the Gohan, give them cards, bro. Like, it's 25 base coming to your face, double strike. I'll give you a card. I'll bottom deck it. Wow. You're going to have to give me 2 if you don't have a super combo. You're going to have to give me 2 regardless. That's if you have a super combo. If you don't have a super combo, you're going to have to give me at least 3. So, okay. What else do we guys got for me? My boy said, I'll sell you the 2 TP. Bro, I am a broke man. I have to go to locals and win these TPs for free, bro. I can't just be spending money on cards that weren't my wife. My man said he pulled 3 TPs today. You are busted, my friend. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're super, super busted. Yeah, what else you guys got for me? Because if not, we're gonna cut it short, because I think we're at the 38-minute mark. So like I said, I'll stay, as long as you guys keep flooding in questions, comments, or concerns, I'll stay here and answer and address them. But once it dies out, that's where we're going to start ending the stream from now on versus dragging these out. I know you guys enjoy the long-winded podcasts and stuff, but we're going to try to keep these guys shorter. So we pretty much come out here as a Q&A. It's literally a live Q&A. Thoughts on new mecha with new support? If you're new to the channel, we won't discuss new cards until they're out. The reason why we won't discuss new cards until they're out is because when X cards come out, you assume X cards are good, and then the next day or the next week, the next color gets revealed, and it's like, hey, that color completely turns off what you just said the previous week. So that's why we don't do that. But I will answer those questions once they're out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yellow Android is gonna be broken. I guess we'll find out when they're out. If it is gonna be broken, it would probably be Butters, because Butters loves those Android cards. The champ pack cards, yeah, the champ pack cards are busted. Those are out. I can talk about those. That yellow topo for Frieza is kind of, it's wild, like wild, dude. So, yeah, that is absurd. That's, man, Mecha, if you have yellow, it's a solid investment for best of three. Once again, 1, 2, 3, not best of 1, best of 3. Pretty good.
Yellow is still good in general. It's pretty,
Yeah,
It's just gonna do the same thing. It's just gonna tap your opponent out, and
Yep.
if your opponent doesn't just plays into it, they're gonna lose.
Yeah, yeah. It is facts.
Bergamo snapped.
Yeah, Bergamo is wild. Bergamo is wild. Problem with Flash. The yellow in general with Mecha is just. I think Mecha honestly might be the first leader to get a ratted, quote unquote, or slash banned twice. It's just. Especially when I saw those new cards that we'll talk about once they're officially out. It's just. I see the power that can go into it. And guys, it's not a fun time at all. Let's see what else we got.
You always know that free cards are okay until it
Yeah.
gets out of hand.
Yeah, I've been on hot shoot.
Shugesh is pretty OP.
Which one?
Shugesh.
Shuget? Yeah, that's. Oh, man.
Let Shugesh come back.
I think Shuget. I don't know why Shuget can't come back, honestly. Because in my opinion, that Seeker is the ultimate Shuget. Like, that Seeker is like, bro, I'm here. Like, man. Actually, I lied. They're pushing lineage. They can't rematch Shuget. They can't, because, yeah, Path of Greatness comes out for free with Shuget, huh?
I got 8 SCR.
Actually, when I think of it, Shugesh would be fine. Path of Greatness doesn't have Deflect, so it has Barrier. So I guess Blue is the only thing that would really counteract it. Height of Mastery has Deflect. Yeah, you can't rematch Shugesh. Yeah, Shugesh is gone. I ain't gonna lie. Think of it now, Shugesh is gone. I think it's busted. Unless you errata it, so if your leader is a yellow Saiyan, Goku's lineage leader, maybe.
That would be the only way, I think.
Yeah.
But even then, that new Goku's lineage leader is pretty.
Yeah, that's how you would sell product. That's how I'm like, maybe. That's how you would super sell product. Like, what? Shugesh is back just for this? Oh, I'm buying it. It's not getting money.
That's like a sneak peek promo.
Yeah. Alright, so I don't see any more questions, comments, or concerns. So we'll start with closing comments. And by the time we get done with closing comments, if there are any questions, comments, or concerns, we will address them. So I'll let Trey start us off with closing comments, my man. State what's on your heart that you want these people to know.
Well, I'm just happy to announce that I'm with you guys now. It's going to be a fun ride, especially when we're so active in the group chat, so we'll be able to present you guys with more information on these Monday, Wednesday, Friday team talks.
Yeah.
It's been pretty active since I joined. I like to see that. Especially the constructive criticism from all the teammates.
Yep. Oh, Trey will tell you. Trey, he's in the chat. He'll tell you guys, like, when deck lists come out, I'm one of those guys that's like, I hope Eddie doesn't see this post. Because when I see it, I tear this down. Because me, I overanalyze the meta where I understand both best of 1 and both best of 3. And I could tell you straight up just by looking at it what you will lose to based on what I expect to be in action. Like I told you guys, go look at the last team talks. For this best of 1, I literally told you exactly how it was going to play out. And I said either Blue Baby or Invoker will win. And I said if Legend ended up playing it, maybe it's Blue Baby. And Blue Baby ended up winning. And those players weren't playing. But I can see exactly what's going to happen. And I'm telling you. When I look at deck lists in our team chat, it just gets brutal. I try to do nice, but it gets X-ray, bro. It gets really, really brutal. We go back and forth. I'm like, it's not going to happen. I mean, I understand you're a good player, but I don't look at. And they'll tell you, I hate when they say, but it's about the pilot. I quickly shut it down. I'm like, I don't do pilot talk. I don't do anything. I do if Trey A was versing Trey version B, and you're using this deck versus that deck, which version would win? That's how I do. I compare both players on the same skill, and just look at deck choices and deck text for each deck, and I look at them go head to head. And that's literally how I call it. So it gets really, really brutal, guys. Yeah. So I guess my closing comments would be, like I said, for best of 1, biggest thing I'll tell you guys too for these webcam events, record your games. I've heard some horror stories, and it's like, okay, did you record your game? Because if you record your game and he's lying, all you have to do is say, okay, cool. Say what you say exactly what you did. And if they're lying, you say, okay, judge, I've recorded what he said. You heard what he said. Now actually hear what he did and rewind your game. The judge he'll end the match and you'll win the game. Like if he's lying, literally show the judge what he did and what he said. And if it's completely opposite what he's telling the judge, the game's not gonna be an 0-1. He will lose. He just lied to a judge. He will lose and that's it. It's end of story. There's no he said, she said. But if you do not record your games, you're leaving yourself susceptible to just like shenanigans and BS. Because the judge is gonna be in a rough spot where all is gonna happen is she's gonna rewind the game state to a point where you guys both agree. So it's gonna be a lose-lose for you regardless, because it's gonna be a spot where it's not favorable for you or him, but it's gonna be a spot where wherever a misplay happened, it's gonna be taken back. So it's gonna be rough, guys. Record. You don't have to get permission to record your game. Maybe to stream it on your channel, I would ask them. But if your sole purpose is just to record it, and just in case anything goes wrong, hey, I wouldn't tell them off rip neither. If I'm playing my opponent, I'm not gonna tell them I'm recording the game, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna be like, okay, cool. Now I have to say this, I have to say that. Like, no, it's just a regular game. If he lies, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna judge. Okay, tell him exactly what just happened. Oh, okay, cool. I did this and I missed an optional effect. Can I take it back? If you're telling the truth, there's no need to bring it up. But if you're telling me there's an optional effect and you said you called it and 100% you're correct, you called it, and I'm like, no, you didn't. You're telling me I'm lying. You're telling the judge that I'm lying. I'm like, okay, cool. Are you sure that's what you did? All right, cool. Rewind. Judge, this is what happened. And he just watches it. There's no if, ands, or buts. I can guarantee you, judge is going to be like, all right, cool. You lied to me. Game lost. That's it. And it's best of one. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no lines. There's no he said, she said. That's literally it. It's not used for the... Now, if you want to record your games and then put it on your channel or live stream, whatever it is, yes, ask your opponent, because it's kind of, I don't know, it's just common courtesy, guys. But if your sole purpose is to record just in case something does happen, I wouldn't tell my opponent I'm recording it, because I'm not going to do anything with it. So, yep, let's see what else we got. That's one of my closing comments. The next one is... I'm trying to say it without telling you guys. I'll wait to get in trouble. Yeah, I don't want to say it like, if I just say like this, they're going to take it and run with it, and they're going to get in trouble. But if you're playing a deck, man, I'm not even going to say it, never mind, because you guys are going to take it the wrong. Someone's going to take it the wrong way and say Eddie said to do this. But any advice for newer players out there? Yeah, so that's why I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna put myself in that position. So my advice.
For giving people bad advice.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not even gonna put it out there. So my advice for any new players out there: stay away from control decks and webcam events. I don't care how great of a player you are, unless you have a win con that can end the game instantly. Stay away from control decks. Like, there's people in the team as well. I told them they want to play certain decks, such as like Sync and stuff like that. I said, I don't care how good you are, stay away from those decks. Because what's going to happen is, if your opponent is also playing another deck that's control, it will come down to, okay, cool. If I can't lose, I'll progress the game, but in a way where I'll make sure I will not lose. But if you're playing a deck such as Rietze, if you're playing a deck such as Invoker, where yes, you can do the same thing, except on a flip of a dial, you can end the game. That is the deck I would advise a new player play. Not so much Invoker as Rietze, because Rietze you can literally say, okay, this is what's gonna happen, B. You're gonna do your plays, and it's gonna be you either negate it or you don't negate it. Because when you put your opponent in that position where you understand their deck and you understand what you can do, it's either you're literally telling your opponent you're either negating it or you're not negating it. If you're taking a minute to think, I'm calling the judge, because literally my plays are straightforward and there is no you're trying to stall all that good stuff. You're either negating or not negating it. Now, if you're playing a deck like Sync, or you're playing a deck like, I don't know, anything that's control wise, and you don't have that alternate win con that you could just flip on a flip of a switch, I would not advise you playing it, because you are going to.
So that's why blue lost some big power. Like big
yeah.
Power because it goes to 7-9.
Yeah. Because you're gonna get put in a position where you could have won the game, but there's a minute left. But then you need the next turn, so you're gonna pass real quick, and you're gonna expect your opponent to just play through his turn, and they're gonna take their time. They're not gonna slow play you, but they're gonna take their time. Realistically, they have time to charge energy. They have time to make a play, and by the time that you need, even though they know for a fact they're dead to end their turn, they can, without slow playing you, not pass the turn, so you'll lose. Only because you try to play a deck that's like, I don't know. But hopefully I didn't confuse you guys. Just play something that you can just you can step on a gas at any given time and point. Something like Dylan Sink's Shinron deck, I appreciate his deck as well. He could press the gas any time and point he wants. If you try to stall him, you'll lose the game because literally you're trying to stall a man that says he'll soul charge all his dragons on turn 6 and then just hit you with a Cell Secret Rare if somehow you survive. And if you don't slow play and you actually play it correctly, once you make that one misstep, he's gonna press that gas hard when he drops that Cell Secret Rare into that pan and restand it twice. So a deck like that is really solid. And my boy said, got it, play Dark Broly for best of 1. Bro, as much as I love that deck, I would not play that deck personally. But right now, I would, that's my only deck. But if I had the complete Vegeta build or complete Gogeta Zeno build, that's what I would play over that. Alright, yeah, I think we caught up on everything. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys have any more questions, comments, or concerns, like I said, whenever you guys see the post, just put them on the comment section if you can't make it. And then I will be sure to address those comments, questions, or concerns for the post in this video. So when you guys tune into YouTube the next day, you guys can check them out and hear your answers. But thanks for tuning in. It's been fun. We had myself, Robert Rietze, sharing his experience from his top 4 this past weekend, and our boy Trey Faircloth. And so we'll see you guys on Friday at 10:30. You guys stay safe and good luck.